Here we go. Welcome to Digestive Health. Your digestive system starts at your mouth and ends where the waste from your body is excreted. It's not just your stomach. Your esophagus is about 9 to 10 inches long. The small intestine is about 23 feet long, and the large intestine is about 5 feet long on average. It is estimated that over 100 million Americans have digestive disorders of some kind: constipation, gas, bloating, irritable bowel, reflux, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, gastritis, diverticulitis, leaky gut, and upset stomach. 100 million people is a lot of people, considering that our total population is currently a little bit over 331 million. So that's about 30% of our current population that have digestive issues. And I would bet that's probably a low number due to the fact that a lot of people don't go to the doctors and they choose to help themselves, or sadly, they just ignore their symptoms. IBS cases alone are an estimated 25 to 45 million cases in the US. Both leaky gut and IBS have become more prevalent. According to the CDC in 2016, there were 22.4 million visits to the doctor's office with diseases of the digestive system as the primary diagnosis, and 8.3 million visits to the emergency room with diseases of the digestive system as the primary diagnosis. And that was 4 years ago. So the number surely has gone up. A study that I found on the National Institute of Health's website cited a national GI survey, which was an audit of over 71,000 participants, and over 61,000 of them reported having a GI symptom in the past week. The most common were heartburn, reflux, 30.9%, abdominal pain, 24.8%, bloating, 20.6%, and constipation, 19.7%. And this is just in the US. Something is very wrong here. 80% of your immune system is in your gut. This is a list of things that you might have happening if you have gut issues: unable to gain weight, fatigue, joint discomfort, sluggish digestion, sleep disturbances, moodiness, skin issues, and unable to lose weight. And you might think, at looking at this list, what do some of these things have to do with your gut? Your gut is your second brain. There is a gut-brain axis. You have an entire nervous system in your gut. Immune cells are located in your digestive tract. Unhealthy gut equals a lowered immune system. And your gut is your first line of defense. Now, more than ever, especially with the threats in the world today, we need a strong immune system. Your immune system is critical to your well-being, and I think that's the most important thing, is stopping things before they happen, which is what your immune system's designed to do. So your gut integrity is critical to your health. Your vagus nerve is one of the biggest nerves connecting the gut and the brain. The vagus nerve is the way that the gut talks to your brain. Nearly 90% of the fibers in the vagus nerve actually transmit signals to the brain from different areas in your body. It's the 10th cranial nerve, and it goes from the base of your brain to part of your colon. Okay. So there's the list that I just talked about the gut-brain axis and the gut being the second brain. And here's your gut has influences on the following: weight gain, microbial balance, your microbiome, neurotransmitters, behavior, nutrient delivery, bowel movements, mood, and stressful and anxious feelings. Did you ever get worried about something and all of a sudden you have a stomach ache and you can't eat, or you eat when you're worried and all of a sudden you feel like it's not being digested? That's an example of the gut-brain connection. The majority of neurotransmitters that have a direct impact on the items listed are produced in the gut, including serotonin and dopamine. We all know serotonin, as in after a relaxing bath or massage, that feel-good feeling, that's serotonin. The highest concentration of serotonin is found in the stomach and the intestines. 95% of serotonin and 50% of dopamine are produced in the gut. So dopamine can affect sleep, mood, control of nausea and vomiting, and learning, among other things. So you can see how, easily our gut has influence on these things and how we can be easily distressed. So your gut microbiome is your microbial balance. Microbes are good bacteria. They keep you healthy. Issues in your gut affect your ability to absorb nutrients. Inability to absorb nutrients causes micronutrient deficiencies, and micronutrient deficiencies are prevalent in our society. What destroys good gut flora? The Standard American Diet, acronym SAD. It's full of chemicals, pesticides, and processed foods. Think back to when you were a child and you ate at your grandmother's. There wasn't a lot of processed foods. They cooked everything fresh. They made it from scratch. And we just don't do that anymore. There's a quote by a Dr. Furman, I believe his name is. He's a doctor that encourages micronutrient health. And he states that the standard American diet doesn't supply a tenth of the micronutrients that humans need to prevent disease and obtain excellent health. That's amazing. That's incredible. Anti-inflammatories can affect your gut lining. That's why they tell you to eat them with food. That gut lining is only 1 cell thick. Antibiotics, according to the CDC, there's about 47 million unnecessary antibiotic prescriptions in the US. And remember, after 1 round of antibiotics, your gut flora may be destroyed for up to 1 year, after 1 single round. And then there's also the effect of the antibiotic resistance. Stress can affect your gut flora. Who isn't under stress right now? My goodness. GMO products, pesticides and chemicals, alcohol, smoking, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, lack of prebiotics, and fluoride in the water. So these are all things that can destroy that good gut bacteria that you have. Things to avoid: highly processed or packaged foods, refined grains, sugars, including high fructose corn syrup and artificial sweeteners, refined oils, especially soybean and canola oils, and antibiotics only when absolutely necessary. And sometimes you do have to take antibiotics. It's your only option. And what you do when that happens is that you get a good pre-probiotic, and you take those so that your gut bacteria is not destroyed. I know quite a few ladies that actually, when they take antibiotics, they have issues with yeast afterwards. And that's an example of damage to your gut flora when you are taking antibiotics. Excuse me. And then anti-inflammatories. There are a lot of good anti-inflammatories that are herbal and alternatives that you can use. Also, another thing to look into is an anti-inflammatory diet. When you have an inflammatory process going on, there's a better way to eat, in that you can avoid some of those inflammatory products. Nightshade family, they're very inflammatory. Potatoes, tomatoes, eggplant, good thing to avoid when you're undergoing an inflammatory process. Ice is another thing that is very anti-inflammatory, and it's practically free, costs you a few cents. I actually had tennis elbow in both my elbows at once one time. And I went to a doctor at, I can't remember, it was the hospital, Pine Ridge and wherever, before Physicians Regional was there, and the interstate. And he told me that his wife had tennis elbow, and she used ice to solely get rid of her tennis elbow, which made sense because it's an inflammatory process in the elbow. So So it is good for that. And it's free. So a good one to use if you have an injury. Additional steps that you can take: eat organic as much as possible. And I know that's easier said than done, and organic is more costly than regular food. And I can tell you that a long time ago, when I started using organic products, actually started with bananas, believe it or not, because they tasted so much better than conventional bananas. And so I kind of got into it from there. And now I do eat organic as much as I can, and I definitely notice how much better I feel and the issues I don't have when I eat organic. And organic foods actually do taste better. And it's not something that you jump into all at once. This has been a lifetime for me of including things that worked in my life and that were easier at the time. And then when I absorbed that, I moved on to something else. And there was also the financial consideration in it as well. So it's something that you have to take into consideration. One of the things I do is eat with the seasons. So whatever's on sale organically, that's what I eat at that time. And so that's one way that you can work some organic food into your life. Look at labels. Non-GMO labels, and consider the source where the food comes from. This is a non-GMO label here. This is a big deal. This is very costly for producers to get. There's a lot involved in it. And so if you do anything, this would be the thing to look for. If you can, this is better, the non-GMO and the organic together. But if you can't, go with a non-GMO verified. It's a good way to go. Chew your food better. I once listened to a talk, and they said you should chew your food 43 times. And I went, wow, I don't even think I chew mine 10 times, let alone 43. And I thought about it, and it's something I'm working on. It's a work in progress. And the whole idea is that your food should be liquefied before it goes down into your stomach, so it's easier for you to digest and absorb, which made a lot of sense to me. And then they pointed out the fact that that's why the teeth are in your mouth and you don't have any in your stomach, is because you're supposed to chew your food that good and digest it that way. So that for me, I'm working on that. That's hard, but I'm working on it. Eat mindfully. Don't rush. Enjoy your food and slow down. I think that's something we all could do. I'm really guilty of that. And it's something, again, I'm working on that one. I think we all could use to sit down and relax with our family, shut our phones off, shut the TV off, and just take our time and eat and talk like we used to. It would go a long way toward digestion. There was also the talk that I listened to. There was the suggestion made to eat with your non-dominant hand. That would slow anybody down, especially me, because I'm a right-handed person. I can't do anything well with my left hand. So that would definitely slow my meal down and maybe encourage me to chew more. Drink water. Hydration is extremely important to digestion. Drink lemon water and add salt. I use lemon essential oil in the water that I drink all day, and I actually add Himalayan salt for the minerals and the electrolytes. There's a lot of minerals in Himalayan salt, so something good to, and it's not enough to make your water salty, it's just a little tiny bit that you need. Incorporate more raw foods into your diet. Raw foods contain enzymes necessary for digestion. Try to sneak more raw veggies into your diet. How I do mine, I actually I started making hummus years ago myself. And I since then have stopped making it because I was making so many things. It was so time consuming. So I actually buy mine now. And I've been delving into different kinds of the roasted red pepper. Oh gosh, I love that one. And that's kind of where I try to sneak more raw foods into my diet. And that's also where I discovered my love for raw cucumbers. So I eat at least a half a cucumber a day. I just love them. So anytime I can, I try to sneak them in, whether it's a little bitty salad or zucchini with tomato sauce. I try to sneak it in that way. And yeah, wherever you can sneak it in. The cooking destroys enzymes as well as storage and shipping. So the raw is really, really the way to go. Your digestive enzymes, the production decreases as you age. Around age 30 to 35, the production decreases of enzymes. So I actually do take digestive enzymes now, and I am digesting quite a bit better. I've noticed a lot less stomach issues. Proper supplementation. Please, if you do anything, if you take vitamins, buy whole food vitamins. Use something that your body recognizes. There's a lot of bad supplements out there. They're more than happy to take your money. But I have to warn you that they can do you more harm than good. A lot of times they're full of chemicals and substances that just are not good for you. But get the whole food vitamins. They do cost a bit more, but they're worth it. You will feel better. Here is a list of environmental working groups, Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen. And if you can see on the left, Dirty Dozen, these are actually the items that you should buy organic when you buy organic. There are a lot of pesticides used on these things. If the bugs like to eat them, they use a lot of pesticides on them. Strawberries, spinach, kale, nectarines, apples, grapes, peaches, cherries, pears, tomatoes, celery, and potatoes. So whenever possible, those things you should try to get organic. Here's a list of Clean 15, and these you can buy conventional. Avocados, sweet corn, pineapples, onions, papayas, frozen sweet peas, eggplant, asparagus, cauliflower, cantaloupe, broccoli, mushrooms, cabbage, honeydew melon, and kiwi. And if you notice the two little asterisks, some sweet corn, papaya, and summer squash sold in the U.S. are GMOs, so choose organic in the U.S. to avoid GMOs. Environmental Working Group, that's a great website to look up for people that are looking to just improve things in their life, diet, and otherwise. They have a lot of great information on there on many, many different subjects. And they're very much into education on these items. So it's a good place to look if you're interested in getting healthy. These are some products that actually I take these. This is the Terrazyme, the digestive enzymes that doTERRA makes that I actually take. Remember, your enzyme production decreases as you age. This has 10 active whole food enzymes that help with digestion, and there's no GMO material or no animal-derived products. And it helps to support your body's own production of enzymes. And you take 1 to 3 capsules depending on the heaviness of meal. Like if I'm eating salad, I take 1. If I'm eating salad and I include meat on it, I would take 2. If I have a meal that has different food groups in it, and I'll take the 3. But I tend to eat more on the raw veggie side, so most of the time I'm only taking 1 or 2. Very rarely do I take 3. The PB Assist Plus, this is something that I take every day. It's got 6 billion colony-forming units of prebiotic and probiotic organisms. So it has the prebiotics in it, which is food for the probiotics, and it has the probiotics in it. It's time-released. It's a double-layer capsule. My husband actually calls these pill and a pill when he asks for them. I don't know if can you see those? You can see there's a little green pill inside there. It's actually a clear pill on the outside, which dissolves in your stomach, and then the green pill with the probiotics dissolves in your intestines. So that's where the time release come in. So it supports healthy functioning of digestive and immune systems, and it's got 6 different strains of probiotics in it. The more, the better. doTERRA also makes a probiotic for children, and it looks like a pixie stick from when you were growing up, and it only is It's strawberry watermelon, and it's got probiotics in it. I actually mix those in with these and take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because the others have different strains in them. So the more strains, the better. So that's what I do. And these will help support optimal metabolism and also absorption. It supports health of the GI tract, especially the intestines and the colon. And it'll maintain a healthy balance of intestinal microflora. Can't have one of these without a recipe. Here's a stomach tamer roller. It's one of the Children's Health DIYs. And it's a stomach tamer roller, and it has 12 drops of Digestive, which is a proprietary blend that doTERRA has, and 12 drops of wild orange. And you add them to the roller ball, and you fill the remainder of the roller ball with the carrier oil, put the roller ball on a lid, shake, and then you just rub it. You roll it on your abdomen as you need it. There's a lot of other oils you can do this as well, but that's something that's particularly good for kids right there. And it smells great too, so kids like it. Actually, I like it too because it smells great. This is an example of whole food vitamins that I was telling you about. These are doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality supplement. It comes in 3 phases. It's the XEO omegas, which are full of fatty acids that are good for your brain and your immune function. The alpha CRS, which has a lot of phenols and protects cells from free radicals. And Microplex BMZ, which is a balance of essential vitamins and nutrients, and also contains CPTG essential oils to help support digestion. I do take these, and I have for about a year. I was told about these vitamins, and I kind of was like, yeah, okay. So I decided to buy a box and try them. Well, the first thing I noticed when I buy them, let's see the box, is that on the top it says, look, feel, live, younger, longer. I'm like, okay. So I took them for about 30 days, but before I took them, because I am a doubting Thomas, I wrote down everything that I thought maybe it could improve or things that I was just noticing. One of the things that's always bothered me was my fingernails. My fingernails would always split and break. And so my fingernails were on my list. My slow growing hair was on my list, amongst a lot of other things. I lacked energy, and I got tired easily. I mean, by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I was just pooped, and I felt like I could go to sleep all day. Wasn't good. So I write all these things down, and 30 days later, I finished the bottle, and I've never looked back. I'm still taking them now. They make you feel so much better. And there's actually a guarantee on these. So if you take these for 30 days and you don't feel better, you send the bottles back and they give you your money back. So nothing lost. An interesting thing about these supplements, doTERRA is an essential oil company, but Lifelong Vitality is their best-selling product. So they really work. Last but not least, we have the Digestive family of products. These are powerhouses for digestive support. You can use them to soothe occasional stomach upset, reduce gas, and soothe indigestion. This first bottle is, it's a 15 milliliter bottle of Digestive. It's actually called the Digestive Blend. I use this to make my own bottles of Digestive, the roller blend. And this is normally when people want to try it, I will encourage them to try this one first. It's a little bit more cost effective, and you can see if it works for you and if you like it. If I were to give somebody a sample that had stomach issues, this is what I would give them. I would give them this oil. It works wonderfully. And so what you would do is you would, like with the stomach tamer blend that I showed, you would roll this on your gut for stomach issues. These are the Digestive Blend soft gels. Easier to take when you're on the go. They're actually very small. You can probably see they're really tiny. And they're good to take. You can share them with people. And they're good if you've eaten too much of something or too much of the wrong food, or if you've just had spicy or hot and it doesn't agree with you. I'm not a spicy, hot person, but occasionally I do eat something with it. So usually if I'm a steak and boy, doesn't sit well. So I'll have that with me and I will take that. And these are the digest tabs. These are kind of large. I can show you one right here. They're a little bit big. They're chewable and they're a little bit strong for me. When it comes to flavor and taste like that, I'm kind of a lightweight. So what I do is I break mine into quarters and I take them with water. And so I carry those with me. I actually have them with me almost all the time. At work, when I walk in, sometimes people ask me, what's that noise? Because I actually carry them in the bottle and you can hear them shaking in the bottle. It's kind of funny. So they're made from anise seed, peppermint plant, ginger root, caraway seed, coriander seed, tarragon plant, and fennel seed oils. And they're all powerhouses for digestive support. So this is the Digestin is the oil. If you had a stomach issue and I gave this to you and you didn't believe in essential oils and you tried it, you would after you tried it. This stuff works great. My husband even uses this, so there's a good example. When you get your hubby to use it, that's a good thing. So that's my presentation on digestive health. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that people have now, or if you have some later that you think of, you can always reach me at the Essential Toolbox at AOL.com, or you can call me at 239-825-3809, or you can text. I love texting. Anything that saves people time and is easier for them, I'm up for. So I thank you for spending some time with me tonight. And if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.